Hello, folks, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2. Now, you might be expecting me to go back into my Vampire Count playthrough. I'm afraid I'll not be doing that. It's really ground to a halt. Well, maybe not quite to a halt, but it's grinding on, and it is actually kind of killing the game for me. It's rather painful. So instead, what I'm going to do, and that's not to say I won't go back to it at some later stage, but what I am going to do instead,
we must preserve this world.
Actually, let me... New campaign. Who's in this? Oh, Tomb Kings are here. Do they have a part to play in the Eye of the Vortex, though? Not sure. No, I'll play Mortal Empires, Tomb Kings. I'll do Eye of the Vortex next.
I fight for the greater good.
And I think when I'm doing the Mortal Empires, I might play as elves, because I want to give them a try. Apparently, they're one of the burliest factions out there. They're actually part of the reason I kind of retired Vampire Counting, because they get dragons, and as a Vampire Count, we have very little of a retort for them. Apparently try and mass Terrorgeist on them, or have a ton of flying heroes and lords, and try and bum rush the dragons one by one. It sounds messy. Apparently Tomb Kings can do well against them. Angry Mummy Man. Apparently he does better, the Tomb Kings do better against them. Once the dragons land, the Necro Sphinx is just, rip and tear. They're really burly tier 5 units, apparently, with bonus against large, and they're also anti-armor. So they apparently tear through everything. So, I did start this before, but I was rather tired. Got like a half an hour recorded, and that was it. The thing with the Tomb Kings is they don't pay upkeep. They don't buy units. They put all their money towards buildings. And as an added restriction, since they don't pay upkeep or unit costs, they also have a unit restriction. You get a particular building, you get a unit, or so many units. One of these guys here, Arcan here, he gets some Vampire Count units, and not wished. He gets none of the fun ones. And the only good one he gets is possibly Hex Rates, or whatever they're called, but he only gets one of them per building, and it sounds kind of dodgy.
Henry has only one king.
So, let's start with this guy. Settra turns his attention outward and sees a world full of so-called kings, emperors, and lords. These are all pretenders, for there's only one true king, the great king, the king of kings. These false sovereigns will yield and learn who rules and who serves. But first, Settra must dominate Nahakara, once again and purge it of greenskin infestations. Let his reign begin. Apparently, there's a really nice high elf unit. It's the Sisters of so and so. They are archers, but they can kick the shit out of apparently a ton of melee units. Part of it's the melee units we softened up trying to get into melee with the archers, but even beyond that, they apparently pretty solid, stats. So yeah, that's fun. Apparently Britonia has great units. Remember the Pegasus Knights we saw? There's apparently Royal Pegasus Knights, but then there's Royal Hippogriff Knights, and God, they're burly as shit. Remember how I used to use the flyers of the vampire counts, the Terrorgeists and the weaker ones, but not, the bats to a lesser extent, but the Vargeists, I think they're called. Yeah, that's them. Unless that's the ground guy. Whatever. The flying group, weaker flying group, but not the mid-tier one. They basically... Oh yes, I used them to clear walls. Apparently the Royal Hippogriff Knights work wonders on that. They're burly as shit. I've also started editing a massive amount of videos. It's my editor keeps crashing. I went balls deep on it. The editor was cooperating, so it's just like, yeah, it's working. Maybe the update fixed stuff, so it's a bit more cooperative again. Even though I'm still under spec, and I went balls deep, putting like all of this, tons of footage, of over 100 hours. Yeah, my computer just can't handle it. The screen went green for a bit there, and just had to restart my computer. I've got a bit of it edited, so I've got it all edited now. I just need to name it and start exporting. So I'll work bit by bit through it, and then start going through it, editing through it. Though it may not work.
Mighty Settra,
Finally.
greatest of all kings, your civilization lies in mere ruins of its former glory. Much must be done to restore greatness to your kingdom, and for all to fear your wrath once more. To the north, sire, savage greenskins threaten to raid your lands. They defile your mortuary shrines. Vengeance must be taken. More greenskins and Skaven dwell in the mountains to the east, sire. They pose a potential future threat, while regions further south are already occupied by the Necrarch Brotherhood, sucking dry what life there still is in the desert. But these, great king, are but more distractions to a grander plan. The Black Pyramid stands guarded for now by a sentinel army. Control it, and claim its dark secrets, and with it unimaginable power. You are Settra the Imperishable, and all shall obey your rule.
How to play. Books in a gash. Gash. Scattered far and wide throughout the world, the books in a gash once collected will grant you great powers and unique rewards. Day of Awakening. Tomb King factions can recruit units into their armies without the need to pay for their recruitment or upkeep. Instead, each unit has a limited initial recruitment capacity, which can be increased by constructing additional buildings. Dynasties. Tomb King factions must delve into their past secrets, decrease the number of armies or heroes they can field, or to enlist the aid of mighty lords from ancient dynasties. Tomb Kings can spend their canopic jars within the mortuary cult, where the Lich Priests combine them with trade resources, craft magic items, or awaken legions of legend, mighty warriors who can be recruited to battle. O mighty Settra, great king, the imperishable, Kara, the great king of Nekahara, king of kings, opener of the way, wielder of the divine flame, punisher of nomads, the great unifier, commander of the golden legion, sacred of appearance, bringer of light, father of hawks, builder of cities, protector of the two worlds, keeper of the hours, chosen of Petra, high steward of the horizon, sailor of the great Vitae, sentinel of the two realms, the undisputed, begetter of the begat, scourge of the faithless, carrion feeder, first of the charnel valley, rider of the sacred chariot, vanquisher of vermin, champion of the death arena, mighty lion of the infinite desert, emperor of the shifting sands, he who holds the scepter, great hawk of the heavens, arch-sultan of Atalan, waker of the hero titan, monarch of the sky, majestic emperor of the shifting sands, champion of the desert gods, breaker of the ogre clans, builder of the great pyramid, terror of the living, master of the never-ending horizon, master of the necropolises, taker of souls, tyrant to the foolish, bearer of Petra's holy blade, scion of Usarian, the scion of Nehek, the great, chaser of nightmares, keeper of the royal Hetra, founder of the mortuary cult, banisher of the grand hierophant, high lord admiral of the death fleets, guardian of the carnal pass, tamer of the lich king, unliving jackal lord, dismisser of the warrior queen, charioteer of the gods, he who does not serve, slayer of the redditress, slayer of Reddit, Scarab Purger, favourite of Sarian, player of the great game, liberator of life, lord of sand, wrangler of scorpions, emperor of the dunes, eternal sovereign of the Kamari legions, seneschal of the great sandy desert, cursorer of the living, regent of the eastern mountains, warden of the eternal necropolis, herald of all the heralds, caller of the bitter wind, god tamer, master of the Mortis River, guardian of the dead, great keeper of the obelisks, deacon of the Ash River, belated of awakers, general of the mighty perimeter, summoner of sandstorms, master of all necrotechs, prince of dust, tyrant of Arabi, purger of the greenskin breeders, killer of the false gods' champions, tyrant of the gold dunes, golden bone lord, avenger of the dead, carrion master, eternal warden of Nehek's lands, breaker of the Jaff's bonds, and many, many more. Begin your conquest. Those consigned to another world revive to an insipid parody of life to do their master's bidding. An unearthly mixture of wood, metal, and bone to
Slaves worry about heat.
To savage the foe and rending powerful strikes. Spears extend like gnarled, sharpened bones held firmly in place by their deathly grip. Undead devotees of the Tomb Kings are risen again, unswervingly loyal to their liege. Whoa, you start off with one of these? Sweet Christ. Oh, and some tomb guards. Oof. Nice.
Settra is desiccated.
So, what do I want? Um... Sure, we'll just go with you.
Desert heat. What of the heat? King of kings.
Say the line.
Serfs. Great king. Settra does not serve.
He said the line! Alright. Also, the books. Tells you where they all are and who has them. That rogue army guy has that. That Rogue Army guy has that, and what bonuses they bring, and bit of war. Which place has that? Ooh, what are your victory conditions? Hmm.
Is it hot?
An action that could lead to misery, for there is only one king that should reign in a dark tower, and he is not the Lich King, not that bag of bones. No, only the King of Kings can order this action. I have to fight the dwarves, or I could just become allies with them, I guess. Let's see how well that works.
Slaves worry about it.
Alright. Let's just wait for this building to finish. Good for them.
Parched desert heat. The chopper's in my hand, so I can smack you when you say something I don't like.
We're already at war with them.
You dare?
You're a thing? There's more vampire count factions than I realized. They probably got wiped out pretty early on.
I await.
Nice, you're loud.
Mehekara is mine.
Guess I probably should have grabbed those guys earlier.
Who dares? Settra is desiccated.
Alright, let's go swap this guy around.
Settra the imperishable.
Savage orcs lay into their enemies with clubs, axes, whatever is needed to cause as much damage as possible.
Greatest.
We'll give him a moment. Just to grab some more guys. Sorry, I did see another one of their guys coming over here. I did. Well, let's...
Is impossible.
Well, let's hope that's right, Settra.
Glory for Henry.
He certainly talks a lot more. Mash one finger. Alright.
Settra the imperishable.
Alright, let's see.
Settra the imperishable.
Ooh, you have this. Rat of Petra. Explosion does not affect friendly troops. It's aimed on himself. Radiates out. Weak to armor. Well, I don't think we have to worry about that here.
Settra the imperishable. Settra rules.
Beautiful. It's so nice being able to just shoot people again. Yeah, I keep pissing about dumbasses.
Yes.
Your warriors may perish, yet their spirits are eternally bound to your service. From the realm of souls, the power of those that have fallen in battle continue to assist those that remain.
As Tomb King warriors die on the battlefield, their spirits enter the realm of souls. As the realm of souls fills past certain thresholds, the units that remain will regenerate for short periods. Someone seems to be beelining towards these guys. Oh, good for them.
Settra the imperishable.
Oh, nice, you can queue orders. For some reason I was thinking you can't, like I tried before and it didn't work. Christ, that's beautiful. Oh, good, those are my guys. Okay, that was my fault. I got way too overconfident there. Played like a bit of an idiot. I don't know why. Sorry, sometimes my brain just goes dead. Let's blame the heat. Actually, speaking of that. Move. trampling it and dragging it along.
Of course. Animals.
Enemy Lord is dead. Yeah, I played that poorly. Ugh. Hopefully the fan isn't too annoying. I'm just dying with the heat here. Like I said, I'm just a little brain dead here. Endless March. Death abounds on the battlefield. The release of its energy is used to reinvigorate your warriors and send them forth to the fray. It gives you money and boosts campaign movement range. Harvest organs. Valuable organs cannot be left to spoil. Send the Lich Priests onto the field with their jars.